Okay, so once again, you are welcome to the DAG Meetup. That is the chapter of the Ghana group, and we are proud to meet him today, and we welcome all of you. So let's talk about the DAG Meetup. So really, the Meetup DAG is really a building community, encouraging connection, and also empowering education. Basically, it was founded in 1995 in terms of the dynamic user group. And it's the longest running independent Microsoft Dynamics community. And it began as an online discussion forum and has since expanded to really providing video content, training programs, and also interactive virtual and in-person events as we are meeting. There's also the original Meetup. There's also sponsorship opportunities within this DAG community. One good thing about the DAG community is that it's free for everyone to use or for everyone to join in terms of implementers, whether you are a reseller of Microsoft business application. Really, the major focus of the mission is to really support Dynamics 365, Dynamic GP, Power Platform, community of applications, professionals, and also currently with the AI and also Microsoft 365. So it's a really wide recognized community with over 47,000 members across the world, and we have membership dotted in almost every country. Now, in terms of rules of engagement, we need to be courteous, contribute to the meeting, and also let everyone really participate, because that's the major agenda for this, is for us to learn, connect, and also share knowledge. One thing is that in terms of actions, this is a local meetup, so we have grades, and I'm sure you find that on the next slide. So it basically has to do with the Power Platform and also the dynamic user group. Those are the major community that's really driving the DAG user group. Now, this is a dynamic user group programs. Normally, it focuses on Business Central, customer engagement, finance and supply, dynamic GP and Power Platform. And there are a lot of resources available, as I initially stated. We have the free online open forum discussions. We have the DAG webinars, which are free virtual year-round products and content, which is free for anyone to really participate or join. We have the conferences, which is the DynamicsCon, which happens every year once. Next year, it will be happening in Las Vegas. That will be somewhere in May, but I'll give more details on that as we progress. Then we have the local meetup for anyone to join, which is Ghana chapter, and we have the local meetup, which we are really meeting today virtually. Then we have other solution and service, that's individual service vendors and partners also being part of the DAG community. Then we have the DynamicsCon Regional, which we are also part, and we hosted at the DynamicsCon Regional last year, and hopefully that's this year. Hopefully next year we are also hoping to host the DynamicsCon Regional Africa, which will be somewhere in July, which I'll also give more details as we proceed. Then we have some on-demand conference sessions and recordings. Sorry. And we also have empowering future leaders, inclusive community, and also professional growth. So within the group, there's also a mentorship group, which you can also join to be guided in terms of if you want to grow yourself in the DAG community. Now there is a program coming on December 9 to 12 in Miami. So those who happen to find themselves in Miami, they can really join in terms of Convergence AI, Dynamics 365. And there's a registration fee, and it's come at a cost, so it's not a free event. But if you can attend, you can really register. I understand tickets are already sold out, but this is just to bring to your attention. Then we have the Las Vegas program, which is happening May 12th to 15th. And the early bird price is the $999 USD, as you can see. Then this is even at a discount rate. So if you are really interested, you can get in touch, or you can scan the code and really purchase to partake in the DynamicsCon 2026 at Las Vegas. Then their call for sessions is opening. This has to do with BZ app. And so those who want to submit sessions can also submit sessions for that in terms of the DynamicsCon 2026 at Las Vegas. Okay, so these are the DynamicsCon regional happening next year. Next year, please, if you just join, please kindly you mute yourself for us. Thank you very much. Next year, we have the Southeast DynamicsCon regional happening in Tampa, Florida, January 14th, which is just like 2 months away. Then we have the Pacific Northwest DynamicsCon regional, which is happening also at Vancouver. That will be somewhere in March 20th. Then we have the Rocky Mountain Denver happening in April 9th, 2026. And we have the Toronto one happening somewhere in June 2026. Then when it comes to Africa, we have the Accra, Ghana one happening in July 2026. That's for the DynamicsCon regional, which I will encourage everybody to partake and register to really be part of this eventful program in Africa. Then we have the Ohio Valley one, which will happen somewhere in August 2026. We have the Montreal, which is September. Then we have the Europe, Germany, which will be somewhere in October 2026. Then we have the Texas, which is Houston, which is also happening in November 2026. So basically, that is what we stand for, and that's the DynamicsCon regional, or the DAC community at a high level. At this point, I will like Christian to take over. Then in between, I will come in and really talk about the DAC Ghana proper, and before we end the program. So without much ado, I would like to have Christian Ngah, based in the UK and also the native of Cameroon. And we are glad to have you on our session for today. And so you are welcome. And this is the DAC Ghana community. And we are very glad to have you to walk us through, or for us to learn something on BC in terms of navigation. So you are welcome, Christian.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm really happy to be here as well. And I hope what I'm about to share is going to inspire someone here to kind of join this career path, because that is actually my aim. So without further delays, I will just share my screen. Sorry about that. Please let me know when it's visible to you. Please, can you see my screen? Sorry, I will need to pull this way. And then just a minute. Okay. If you can see my screen, sorry, I'm using 2 screens. That's why most likely I'll be talking and looking this way, and then maybe attending, looking at what the kind of questions people have. So welcome once more to this session. We'll be looking at Dynamics 365, finance and operations. Sometimes you hear FinOps, sometimes you hear F&O, sometimes you hear D365. So without taking much of your time, who is Christian? Like, who am I? So like my names are, I am Ngah Christian, and I am a holder of MBA in accounting and finance, and also I have a certification in D365, that is MB310, that is Dynamics 365 finance functional consultant. And then I'm also an MCT, that is a Microsoft certified trainer. And over the years, I've worked as a functional consultant, where we kind of like implement and support Dynamics for several different organizations. Before we proceed, there are like some of the things I want us to consider, or the session style. So it's going to be more of practicals where we'll have live demo, and a little bit, we're going to have a little bit of some theory just to give some context to what Dynamics 365 is. And the goal for today is just to create familiarity for you to have that familiarity and confidence. Mastery can come later. It's not like a whole training session. And just as we proceed also, if you happen to have any questions, you can drop them on the comment section, or you can raise your hand up so that I can attend to them live, or I can attend to them after. But at the end, we'll have questions, a chance to ask and answer questions. So just like the icebreaker for today, I want to know, like, just from the audience, I want to know, has anyone here ever heard of the word ERP, and what does it stand for? Any idea? Anyone? Are we there? Has anyone any idea of heard about? Okay, Yoni, hope. Yeah, so just let us know, what do you know about Dynamics? The floor is open. What do you know about ERP? Sorry. Yeah, on mute. Are you talking, please? Okay, it seems she's busy. So to forge further, I also want to know, is this your first time? If you don't know about ERP system, is this your first time seeing Dynamics or hearing about Dynamics 365? Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Dynamics ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning. Thank you very much, Doc. It means Enterprise Resource Planning, which is something we are going to see more in our next slides. So let me just go ahead. Let's forge ahead. And then, as our agenda for today, we are going to see the basics of what ERP is, introduction to Dynamics 365, the navigations to the system, that is Dynamics 365, and then the setting up of an organization or an entity in the D365. I promise it's not going to be so long and boring, so it's just going to be straight to the point. And then after that, we will do the question and answer, and then wrap up. Maybe I'll hand over to Mr. Fred. And then, as our objective, what do we aim to achieve after this session? At the end of this session, I should be happy to know that some of you guys living from here, or everyone, is living with an idea of what ERP is, what Dynamics 365 basics is, and navigate the system with confidence, and then also locate some key areas and see how legal entity, or maybe get comfortable to maybe understanding what a legal entity is, how that legal entity is configured. So without further delay, what is ERP? I will always like to go in a very traditional way. ERP, in my own terms, is like, consider you have a business where most likely you are dealing with sales, you have inventory, you have purchases, you have customers, you have vendors, and you record these things on, maybe on a ledger, or on spreadsheets, on Excel spreadsheets, like to track the business and understand how the business is going. And if you look at it, you realize that is kind of, you can lose that data, or maybe there are you are weak to mistakes. You can make mistakes. There are like duplication, and everything can just get lost at one moment, and you find yourself struggling. So what then is ERP? ERP is just that system where rather than using that Excel, you have a system which connects all these business processes, your finance, your human resource, your supply chain, your marketing, everything is in one single application. Where, for instance, if you need, let's say you're working in an organization, if you need a document from finance, if you need to communicate with human resource or to retrieve a document from human resource or see the list of workers that work in that organization, you won't need to move from one office to another to get it. Just in one go, you can navigate and see or request for that document or see the list of workers in that organization. That is what ERP is. And rather than also moving across offices to sign documents, ERP gives you that flexibility to do everything in one go. That is what ERP is. And ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. And we have a couple of ERP systems out there. They have providers. There are providers that provide these systems to companies. One of which that I know most people must have come across is SAP. Another is Oracle. We have Workday, and we have Dynamics 365, and then Business Central. I did heard of Fred mention about Business Central, BC. You mostly see BC. And one thing, like I said, these systems kind of prevent duplication of data, eliminates delays. Where imagine that you have to communicate with or to retrieve data from a particular place or from a particular department. It takes so much time if you are doing it maybe from an Excel or from so much paperwork, retrieving, going through pile of papers to retrieve that data. With ERP systems, this kind of eliminates that delay and reduces errors. So in a nutshell, that is what ERP systems are. Please, as I'm going, if you have any questions, I'm using the other screen. If you have any questions, you can drop them up, and maybe I'll answer them at the end of the session.
Yeah, Christian. So I'm monitoring the chat. So if there's any question, I'll prompt you, then you respond to it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Fred.
Welcome.
Sorry about that. So now, let's go to our course or our aim of the discussion today, which is Dynamics 365. What is Dynamics 365? As I mentioned before, Dynamics 365 is one of the ERP systems. So there are thousands. I've just mentioned just a few of them. There are thousands of ERP systems in the world, but the ones that I've mentioned are the ones that are really dominating now. And Dynamics 365 is one of those systems, and it's a cloud-based application, which means you can access it from anywhere. Just like Facebook, you have the ability to log in with your username and password and use it from anywhere. That is why there are so many remote jobs in the Dynamics 365 space. And it handles both medium and large businesses with complex needs. These Dynamics 365 kind of unify finance, supply chain, manufacturing, project management into one system. That is, just having your login into the system, you can see across all these functional units of an organization. But also bear in mind that we have security configuration that limits you to see only what you have to see. You need permissions and duties to be able to see maybe something across finance, something across supply chain. But the good thing is that the business communicates with all other functional units in one place. So that is what Dynamics 365 is. Remember, it's a Microsoft product. Dynamics 365 is a Microsoft product. Among one of these ERPs offered by Microsoft. We have Business Central, we have Navision. Business Central is for small, mostly medium-sized companies, and Dynamics 365 is for medium and large businesses. Then Navision is just an older version of these systems. So I'll be moving now to the system. At least we understand what ERPs are and what Dynamics 365 is. I'll be moving to the system. But before we move to the system, there are some things that I want us, or some expectations that even when you have the environment, you should understand. One thing is that you can never break the system, especially when you are using demo environments. You cannot break the system. So if you own the system, play with the system freely, experiment, because that's the only way that you kind of understand the system very well. The next thing is that the navigations are very, very important. You need to master how to navigate the system. Then practice makes perfect, which means if you want to belong in this ecosystem, you need to cultivate the habit of practicing, because it's only through practicing that you'll be able to master the system very, very well. So now I'll be moving to the system. So this is how the system looks like. Let me zoom it a little bit from here. Is this quite really visible, please? Is this visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. So this is how the Dynamics 365 system looks like. And if you look across, you will see you have workspaces. But bear in mind that I have the ability to see all these options because I am an admin. I am using an admin rule. That's why I can see all this that I'm seeing here. But then, how do you navigate the system? If you see up here, each time you want to come to the home page, click here, you will navigate back to this particular home page. And if you look down here, you see work items assigned to me. I'll get back to this maybe later on. But for now, like I said, it includes finance, human resource, marketing, sales and marketing, all the modules that you'll be dealing with, or all the business functionalities. They are considered, or they are called modules. And how do you navigate to these modules? If you look here, if you click here, and one good thing about Dynamics is that as you take your mouse, it tells you where you are. As you can see, this is the home button. So now the modules, here is where you click and you see the modules. So here is budgeting, here is cash and bank management, here is consolidation. These are all the modules: general ledger, master planning. Yes, I see somebody's hand is up.
Sorry to cut in, Christian, but since you asked for the question as you are progressing, so when the question comes in, I'll draw your attention. So there's a question in here. Can we access the Dynamics 365 system?
That can, sorry?
Can they access Dynamics 365 system? I mean, for free? Because some people want to at least practice as you are doing, so they're asking whether they can have access to it directly.
No, it's not quite really possible for you. There is a free version, a trial version on the Microsoft page, Learn page, that you can go through, but it expires. There is a way you need to configure it. The one I have here, I kind of bought it. For you to have it, you need to buy it. I have someone that maybe we can talk off camera and I will connect you with the person. Maybe you have the system. But aside from that, Microsoft has its own system or demo systems on their webpage, which lasts just for 1 month. So still, if you want to have access to that, you can we can talk after this and I'll show you how you can access it. But for these ones I have these ones like lifetime. I can use them forever, or how long, how till when I want to let it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the response. I guess it's clear. So it's a paid one, but there's
Yeah.
also a free version which is limited for a month on Microsoft Learn. But definitely we give more details as we progress. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So these are the modules. If, for instance, if when you hear, because in the D365 space, you have several roles. If you want to work as an end user is just someone like an accountant who maybe gets into the system and or a human resource personnel who gets into the system and click human resource every day and run their activity. Maybe there is someone that has recently been employed. They will have to log in that person into workers and put the person's detail just to add the person into the system. And if you are an accountant, you have maybe bank reconciliation that you do every end of month. You log into the system and you do that bank reconciliation. But now, for all of us that I think we are here, I think we want to be professionals in this domain. We want to be back end users. We want to be functional consultant. So for you to be this functional consultant, you have finance functional consultant, human resource functional consultant, supply chain functional consultant. These are all, you can be a solution architect, or you can be a solution architect. And for you to be a functional consultant, just from the name, functional consultant, if there is someone that needs to implement this system to use in their company, they will hire you to gather requirements, do gap analysis, and understand the people's or the person's business in order to implement D365 for them. But aside from that, we have technical consultants, because all what you are seeing, there is a code behind it. It's called XX Plus. There is a code behind it that does everything. If you want to be a technical consultant, that is your own section. But functional consultant, they are just the functional units of the system, just as I'm doing now. So these are the modules, as you can see. If you want to be a finance functional consultant, you have particular modules that you'll be dealing with, and you only be able to log in and see those modules, like general ledger, accounts payable, cash and bank, fixed asset, accounts receivable, tax. Those are for a finance functional consultant. Human resource, you have like the human resource module itself, which this is where I am now. And then supply chain, you have procurement and sourcing, product information management. So these are the modules in D365 that you'll be interacting with. Do we have any question at this moment?
Currently, no. In the chat, no. So you can proceed.
Okay. Then up here, we have workspaces. Under these workspaces, we still have some navigations too that are very important. I think the most important ones here that you should know, like someone that wants to be a professional in this domain, is data management, electronic reporting, and feature management. I'll explain what they are. Data management is just where you manage the data within the system, understanding that if there are vendors in the system or there are customers in the system, how are they imported in the system? How do you export those people from the system, or any data within the system? How do you export and import it? So that is done under data management. Previously, it was called data management framework. And then you have electronic reporting. Electronic reporting is where you kind of design invoices, professional documents, any digital documents are designed under electronic reporting. Then you have feature management. Just like your iPhone, you have, or just like WhatsApp continuously release new features. So for D365, when new features are released, they are kind of like enabled here under feature management. Let me just open it so that you can see. So these are the various features that, if you want to see all the features, you come to all. and you'll be able to see all the features. If you look, they are country specific. There are some features that, because Dynamics 365, you can use it across several different countries, and then understanding that every country has its own compliance, maybe tax, or they have their own way businesses are structured, or business processes are structured. So they tend to like release them according to countries specific. So as you can see, these are the features. If you want to enable them, these are the ones that are showing with this tick here are the enable ones. Then we have, let's go to still on workspaces. Let's look at data management. I said this is where you import and export data. If you look here, we have import and we have export. If you want to import your data into the system, let's say you have a list of customers that you want to import into D365, you can use Excel, and then you can download the template. You can download the template from here and then use Excel to import it back into the system. Likewise, export. If you want to export, you can export. And one thing that is good about Dynamics is that it integrates very well with Microsoft Excel. If you look here, as I take my mouse, it says open in Microsoft. So if I want to download this template, I just need to click and then download it. I can then populate the data and then import it back. If there is data in it, I can populate that Excel sheet and then import back, and then data will reflect on the particular data entity that I want to import the data in. Sorry, it's loading. Let me just duplicate this one.
So I guess as we are waiting for it to load, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand if you want to contribute or add anything to it. Thank you.
So the next, we've seen electronic reporting. Sorry, I'm just observing to see if this is downloading. The system is mostly slow because I'm not using the one directly from Microsoft. That's why it's taking time to load. While we're waiting for that, I can move to something else. I'll come back to it. Apologies, it's taking time. So let's go back. Let's go back to home. Remember, I said you can, if you want to go back to home, you click home and then go back to home. Apart from these workspaces, you have here, up here, you have just the things that we've recently opened. Remember, I opened data management, I opened feature management. You can see them here. Then favorites, I can star the things. If you come here, you realize that I can star, can just highlight them, and then under favorite, it will appear under favorite, the things I've starred, those things that I kind of visit every day. Mostly, I will just star them to make my work easy, to make navigation easy, rather than going and looking. I just star them, and then each time I want to use it, I just come. Then you have the home button, which takes you back to the home button. And then across here, you have the search bar. If I want to search maybe users in the system, I want to navigate easily, I can just type users and search. If I want to go to general ledger, I can just type general ledger users. If I want to, there is a navigation for users, but the easiest way you can just, the easiest way you can just search from here and then go to users. These users will kind of give you tell you all the users in the system, all the users in the Dynamics 365. And there is a navigation for it. If you want to navigate to it, you come to System Administration and come to Users. It will still take you to that same form. So this search bar is just to make your work easy. Here you can remove and maintain users. You can, like this user, I can enable that user. If you want to enable, I can enable that user and save it. Always make sure that you save and put it back. When you remove, like when you unenable a user from the system, it means this user cannot perform any action. They won't have access into the system. Each time they want to log into the system, the website will not be kind of open, the website will be giving an error message or a warning message telling them that they are not users in this organization. Then here you have the action center where notifications, where when there is maybe if there is an action that is required from you, you will have a notification here. Then under settings here you can personalize. If you come to user options, if you look at this color here, we have a dark color here. If I want to change this background color, I can just change it from here, save it. If you look here, you see that the color has changed. If I go back to home, you see I have a different color now. If I want to change it back, I come back to user options, choose this one, save it, come to, you see the color has changed just like that. And then also inside here, we have language preferences. Like, for instance, if you look these models here, you realize that in the UK, the sales ledger or the purchase ledger in USA and maybe in some countries, majority of the countries will call this purchase ledger accounts payable and call sales ledger accounts receivable. So this is the UK version. If I want to change it from maybe to a universal version, I need to come here, come to preferences, click here. Even though the country is showing USA, I just need to change the language. US. If I change it to US, save it. And then if I go back here and then refresh, when you want to refresh, you just have to click here. This is a refresh button, or you click up here to refresh. If I come here now, click models, you have accounts payable and accounts receivable. If you look down now, you won't find purchase ledger and sales ledger because that is the UK version. But this is the global version, like India, USA, Canada. This is the version they use. So to do that, you just need to navigate to users here, to user options here, and you change it from there. Then also, like, there are times that when you are using the system and it's slow, you have this, like the way you clear your cache when you are browsing here as well. You can, if the system is very slow, you can clear your cache from here, reset data from here. I think that is the most important navigations there. And then we have like a screen recorder. If you like request, for instance, you request something from me and you don't know the navigations, I can use a screen recorder to record, for instance, let me say GL, let me give GL navigation. And just copy, I'll just copy this and put here. And then start. The moment it starts, whatsoever I'll be doing, if I want to, let's say, go to organization or system administration and go to users, I'll click here, come to users. If you look here, it's documenting here. If I click on this particular user, see, it's giving the navigations. So after, I can stop it from here and then download it or export it to Word document and then send it to you, just to ease, to tell you what I did, or if you have difficulties on navigating, you can then use that document. Any questions? Someone is.
Joseph, do you have a question? If not, your mic is on.
So if you want to personalize as well,
Christian, we can't hear you. You are muted.
sorry about that. Yeah, so I was saying, just like iPhone users, or maybe Android, I'm not advertising Android, iPhone users, you have versions like iOS versions, like the recent one that has been released. Dynamics 365 too has versions, and for you to see those versions, you can come to About, click About, and then up here you see the version is 10.037, and that is how it continues, except that previous Microsoft or Dynamics 365 product, which was Accepta, it used to be Accepta 2012, and it progressed from there to Dynamics 365 F&O, which version 10.01, 10.02, 10.03, up to 30. I think we are on 45 now, and Microsoft has just released 46 is on preview on the Microsoft page, and every version comes with new features. When those features are released, you go to Microsoft, check the features. Most of them will appear on feature management. So this is very important. You need to always know the version you are using, because the older the version, the slower it is. And some features too, because they are upgrading it, just like WhatsApp, bringing in new things that are quite really good for the business. So, and then here, I can log out from here. If you see, I said I'm an admin user, so I can log out and log in from here. And then going back here, Dynamics 365, if I click down here, for you to use Dynamics 365, you need to create an entity. That takes us to our next, to what we'll be doing next. But I want to explain, because you are seeing this now. If you look at this, these are various entities, just like your business. If you have a business, maybe a fashion business, and you want to record the activities of that business, you need to create that business in D365 like an entity. And when you create, or if you have a business that has branches all over the world, you can create each branch as an entity. But these entities should have like a universal chart of account, or a universal, they have different currencies. They have different currencies. So these are the entities that I have been creating. And there are some that come with the system, Microsoft gives you country specific. So to navigate, you just need to click here and you see them. And as well, the entities, if you see, I've given a number to this entity. If I want to change the entity, I could just change it from here. If I want to navigate to a different one, there is another entity that is 200. I can just click 200 up here, and I'll change the entity to another entity.
So,
Yep.
yeah, so as you are changing to another entity, there's a question in the chat, which is, why type in GL Navigator to record the screen? Is it a prompt to record the screen?
Why type in GL? No, it's not a prompt. It's like, it's just like giving a description to what I want to do. I'm giving a description because initially in my mind, I wanted to navigate to general ledger, which is GL. That's why I just use GL. I use GL just like to tell you that I'm to send the recording to you that this is the GL navigation. That's why I just used that. I was supposed to use users. So it's not a prompt. It's just like a title. If you look here, recording name, recording description, I could give a description here. I don't know if that answers your question.
I guess so. I'm
Yep.
sure if there's any further question, I'm sure.
Okay.
Helen will come back. Thank you.
So if you look here now, I am on entity 200 because I've changed it, and every entity has a code. We are going to look at that when we start creating a ledger entity. It's not going to take much time to create a ledger entity because I won't do an end-to-end. When you create a ledger entity, you have to go through like generating number sequences till the end, like configure till the end. But that is for maybe a bootcamp, a training that we need to go through that. So I'm just going to show you the basics of creating a ledger entity. So I will navigate. No, I will still stay here. It's fine. So you come to models to create a ledger entity. You have to come to models and then scroll down. There is organization administration. You are administering the organization. So you click organization administration, and then here you see ledger entity. So you are creating your ledger entity. You click on it. So normally, when you are a functional consultant, to create a ledger entity, companies will give you requirements. They will give you the data. The company will tell you that this is what we want. This is the currency we'll be using. They will give you have to gather that as a functional consultant. You gather requirements. You need to go to the business. Just like I mentioned that you are using Excel and I want you maybe want to transform to using a digital system like D365. I'll need to come to you, sit with you, or maybe we can do it online virtually. I'll understand your business. I need to do business diagnostic to understand your business and then gather the requirements, the things you need. I need to document them. And then check, there is something that is called gap analysis, and then check what you've said you want and what Microsoft provides. That is a very long, elaborate topic that maybe we'll discuss some other time. So for a ledger entity creation, I'm now on the navigation, which is organization administration, organizations and ledger entity. You have to click new and then give a name to that ledger entity. We can just give this one. I'll just call it Ghana Limited. And then you give a company code. I'll just put Ghana and then select the country. Since it's Ghana, I'll select Ghana. I can filter it if I want, just by clicking here and selecting content and then writing Ghana. Select Ghana and then click OK. So it's creating. Sorry, it's loading. Okay, now we're here. So this is what we've created. Now, what does the business do? Like, what is the object of the business? Which line of business? Is it fashion? You just describe here. Describe fashion accessory or give a description of the business. And then you see this is the search name here, Ghana Limited. And then here, this is if you intend to have a consolidation company or do consolidation. Consolidation is when you're joining, if you have a parent company and subsidiary, if you want to kind of compute or do assemble their books, like financial books, you can consolidate the financial books from all the other entities or all the subsidiaries. You need to use consolidation, but we won't be doing consolidation. That is something that is quite really consolidation and elimination. So here, the basics, you need to add your language. I think Ghana is English. So I'll use UK English for Ghana. And then come down here. Here you can add the address of the company. Where is the company located? Apologies, the system is taking
Okay,
time.
so Christian, as the system is taking some time, there's a question in here.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have Monica asking, how
Yeah.
can one be a functional consultant? What is the process of one to become a functional consultant?
Okay, very nice question, Monica. In order to be a functional consultant, first, one thing I will tell you is that you have to have determination. You have to have a drive, because I won't promise you that it's an easy process, or it's not difficult. I won't promise you that it's very easy to be, but you need to be a very dedicated person. And in order to proceed, there are notes on Microsoft. There is MB9. Maybe I'll write it on them. MB9. I'll write it on the comment on the here. MB9 920.
900? 920, okay.
MB 920. That is the certification. If you go to Microsoft Learn page and search for MB 920, it will give you fundamentals of D365 ERP. And bear in mind that Microsoft is soon retiring that certification, coming 31st of December, I suppose. So you need to, if it's something you need to do, you need to rush, maybe download it or download the notes and go through. They are very elaborate. Or alternatively, you can go on Udemy and search. There are so many providers that people that have videos that they have recorded on these lectures on MB310. Then take the certifications after that, which is multiple choice. And then, as my advice to everyone, there is this MB310, which is for if you want to be a finance functional consultant, you'd go for MB310. If you want to be a supply chain, you go for MB330, if I'm not wrong, MB330. So these are for professionals. What I always advise is that if you can get yourself a bootcamp, because it's more of like hands-on, like what we are doing is just more of what we are doing now, where we'll create a legal entity. If it's finance, we'll configure the legal entity from the beginning, do all the finance models, we'll configure all the finance model. If it's supply chain, we do the same. So after that, you have familiarity with the system, because the core is understanding the system. Interviews are mostly based on how you can navigate the system, how you can use the system. So if you can do that, then after, there are notes too on the Microsoft Learn page for MB310 or MB330. There are notes there. You can then go through the notes. The notes will provide lab sessions like this one we are doing now. They will still show you how to create a legal entity, but it's not quite really explanatory. After that, then you get your certification. Then start searching.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Christian. There's another question from Wendell. The question is, in consolidating the parent and child entities, how do you work around cases where they have different currencies? Example, parent companies in dollars and maybe the child companies in cedis.
We have there is currency. You have to map the currencies. There is currency exchange rate conversions or exchange rates. Let me save this and take you there. Let me just cancel this. I can get back to it anytime. So there is exchange rate configuration, which is under general ledger, which kind of maps a relation between the two companies. Let's say that company is in US. I'll just say US, and one is here in the UK. So you need to have an exchange rate relation. Let me just show you. Let me just show that very fast. You need to map a relation between the two currencies. Where is currencies here? Exchange rates. I think it's here. So if there is no exchange rate relation, if you see here, just I've gotten here, if you see there are exchange rate relations, I've mapped between US and Dubai currency, US and Euro, US and GB, that is pounds, US and Indian currency, which means if there need to be consolidation between those two companies, they need to be, if that there is what is called a parent or an accounting currency. An accounting currency is the currency of the company. And there is what is called transaction currency. There is what is called reporting currency. Accounting currency is the currency of the company. Transaction currency is the currency you are doing your transaction with. Reporting currency is the currency you want to see your reports in. So in your case, if there is no relation that is between the parent currency or the accounting currency with that currency you want to consolidate with, it will not, that is the first thing, it will not be possible. And then the second thing is that after that, you need to create a separate legal entity and call it a consolidation company for you to go through the process. It's a very complex process that if I start explaining that, it might maybe take like 1 or 2 hours. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yeah, I guess you have answered it at least. You have given the basis that is possible. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I'll go back to our legal entity creation and let's finish. I hope it's not too long, but so we are under organization administration, sorry. Okay. And we were creating our legal entity. If you see here, it's already showing Ghana. We've started creating it. If you look up here, it's showing GH, which is the code that we created, but we've not finished creating it. So I just want to show you the other basics. I wanted to add the address. You can add the address from here. Let's change the country to Ghana. Okay. Ghana. Okay, click yes. And then description, you can just put the name of the address. I don't know places in Ghana. I'll just put Kumasi. Is that a place in Ghana, I suppose?
Yeah, that's a place in Ghana, Kumasi, Accra.
Okay.
You can do Kumasi, Accra. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so then what is the purpose of this? Is this a business? You select, is it a business? There are so many other options here. Is it a consignment? Is it a delivery? Is it fixed asset? Normally, it's a business, so you select business. And then the postcode. You can put the postcode. It should bring Ghana postcodes. I don't know why it's not bringing it, but that is what is supposed to happen. And then the street, you put the street. And then do you want to make this a primary address? Because you might still have some other addresses. You can make it from here and then just click OK here. And that address will appear here. So here is the address. This one, I can remove it if I want to by coming to options and removing, but that is not what we want. And then here, you can also add the map if you want. You can use the map here. Let me go back. and then down. These are called fast tabs in Dynamics 365. These tabs here, where you can navigate down and up. Here, if you want to put, you might want to put your contact information, the company's contact information. If it's a phone number, telephone, you can just put telephone here and put the number. Just use any number. Is this a primary number? And then add again if you want to add another contact. This time around email. I want to put email just like that. These are the company email. Just put at gmail.com. Wow. If you want to make it primary, you make it primary. Remember that after every step, you make sure that you save it. And then come down. There are other things. Statutory reporting. These are things that the company will provide to you. All these details, registration numbers, they will provide to you. And bank account. Normally, no company will put its bank account. They have just provided in like 99% of configurations that I've done. They hardly put the bank account here. But if you want to do it, you do it. Number sequence. We'll see how to generate number sequences. And then this is for that cover picture here. This cover picture that you see, we can change it. If we want to change it, the cover picture that you see here. So you can default, you can change it if you want to change it from here. Remove it or put it back. Default, you can change it from there. Let me show the picture. This picture, you can remove it. This is the Microsoft. Most companies will leave it this way. So if you look here, you see Ghana Limited. That is our company that we're interacting with now. So that is where you change it. Yes. Then just basic information. So in a very high level, this is how to create a legal entity in D365. There are other options like adding operating units and generating number sequences. Let's see how to generate number sequences. What are number sequences? Number sequences are just like you give every business process in the system, maybe a purchase ledger, purchase requisition should have an identifiable number that you can use to filter a particular purchase order if they exist, or you have various journals that you have in the system or voucher numbers. You can use a number sequence. It's just giving identity to various processes where you can use to filter. So here you have two types of number sequence generation. You have manual number sequence and automatic number sequence. Manual number sequences, you have to go through manually and generate the number sequences, and then automatic, which is the highly used because there are about thousands of processes that you need to give these number sequences to. So most of the times companies will mostly generate, majority 99% will generate, and it's just by clicking here on generate. Let me just duplicate this and show you something. Okay, while that is generating, I want to show you an example. So if we come to accounts payable and come to vendors, these are all the vendors that are in the system. It's probably going to take a little bit of time. So there are other things that you have to do after creating that legal entity, but that is what we just did now is just the basics, very high level on how you can create the legal entity. Number sequence generation, operating units is still another part of creating a legal entity, but that is something that is quite really elaborate. We can look at it some other time. So let me just randomly click to create a vendor in the system. So this is more of like you have vendors that you deal with. Let's say you are a business person and you have vendors maybe in Turkey that you buy from. So you create them in the system. So for me to create it, I think I will need a vendor group, which is, this is not the right thing to show you. Let me go show number sequences from setup parameters. Please, I just want to show you the number sequences. Don't base your mind on places that I'm going to now. That might be a little bit complicated. I just want to use that to explain number sequences. Where is the number sequence generation? It's going to probably take time because it's generating thousands of numbers. So if I come to number sequences here, if you look here, normally we don't have any number here. This is payment voucher. Like if we have to check a payment voucher, there should be a number because there will be so many payment vouchers in the system. There should be a number. Now we don't have any number sequence here, but after we generate it, then and come here, refresh this, you will see that there are numbers that have been given to these invoices for you to be able to maybe trace or track and trace invoices in the system. So basically, that is the use of number sequences. I don't know, it's going to probably take much time to generate, but as I mentioned, that is very high level information of how you can create a legal entity. So I think that is that for today. And then do you have any questions?
Currently, no, there's no question in the chat, but anybody who wants to contribute or ask any question can really come off mute and ask the question. I get the session has been quite engaging and everybody is paying attention. Any question?
Yeah. If there is anyone that my LinkedIn name is Ngah Christian, I see a couple of people have added me, so you can just reach out to if you want to know how to go through or become a professional in this domain. Just reach out to me, and I will guide you on how it can. No, it's not for accounting people, please. It's not for accounting people. That is because it's because I'm mostly talking about accounting. I mentioned supply chain. I mentioned human resource. I mentioned you don't need accounting background to do it. It's just that if you have an accounting background, it's beneficial for you. But it's more of IT. Being a functional consultant is more of combining IT and business processes. If let's say you need to understand what human resource is, you need to, when I talk about supply chain, you need to understand what I mean by supply chain. So with that background, and then the IT, with the IT field now, where it's more of these configurations, and maybe there are a lot of tools that you'll be using like Power Automate, Azure DevOps, Lucid Charts, so many tools that you'll be using along the line as a professional in this domain. And it's something that I'm quite really encouraging a lot of people to get into the space, as there is a lot of transformation that is going now. People are leaving from SAP, Oracle, and all those other ERPs to Dynamics 365. Why? Because Dynamics 365 owns Excel, they own Power Automate, they own everything Microsoft, and those people like from SAP, Oracle, they use these tools, they kind of integrate them, which is very difficult for them. You either have technical issues or you have high costs by Microsoft. So why not just navigate to to Dynamics 365, where you have all these things together in one place that you can easily integrate and use them? How do I get lifetime license for Dynamics 365? Talk about earlier. You can reach out to me. We can discuss about that. Please, how can you reach out? How can I reach out to you? My LinkedIn is, let me stop sharing maybe. My LinkedIn is, oh, wow, let me see. I'll just put it on chat. In Christian Ngah, and that is my LinkedIn name.
Okay.
Let me get it for you.
Okay, so as you get to the LinkedIn, if there's no question in here, I would just like to thank Christian very much for this insightful presentation. Really appreciate it. And Christian was part of the team which we trained recently to the MCT, and really like the insight you have shared with us. As I said, Christian is based in the UK from Cameroon. We hope to see Christian actively in the Ghana group. I know that he and Cyril are planning to really participate in the DynamicsCon Africa, which comes on next year in July. And we are hoping to at least see you, Christian, here in Ghana. Next year.
I'm coming to see Kumasi.
Something like that. I think you are now with Kumasi. I don't know. Who mentioned Kumasi to you?
That is because from the movies, Ghanaian movies that I've watched, I mostly hear of Kumasi and Accra. So,
okay.
And there is a place in Cameroon that is called Kumasi as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess so. Okay, then I understand. Okay, so thank you very much. If there's no question, and we like to appreciate what you have done for us this evening. And we are open. Christian has shared the LinkedIn, so if you want to get in touch and know more, you can. You can also get in touch with the leadership, and we can also connect you to Christian if you need any support. So at this time, we'll proceed and just give a short announcement in terms of the DAG Ghana community. We'll be having an in-person meetup, I'm sure, before the year ends, and we'll communicate that on the Meetup group and also on our WhatsApp group. And we'd like to thank you all for joining today. We also have our DAG DynamicsCon Africa, which will be hosted by Ghana. We are still seeking for volunteers to support us in putting this program together. So if you are interested, kindly get in touch, and we'll be glad that you support us to have a successful DynamicsCon Africa. Last year it was West Africa. Now they are saying we should host the whole of Africa. So that comes with a huge tax, and we need all hands on deck to support us to have a successful event come next year, July 2026. But before that, we will also be having some in-person events and also online events. Those who are interested in also at least featuring on our program in terms of giving talks or presenting, please kindly present your name in the WhatsApp group or on the Meetup group, and we'll be glad to schedule you to also engage. The platform is not just for Dynamics 365. If you're also interested in talking about Power Platform, you are also invited to really submit a session. If you also want to talk about Microsoft 365, AI, or any professional leadership stuff you want to engage the community on, let us know, and we'll be glad to schedule you to engage the community. This also helps us to learn, to network, and also to grow, because you grow as much as you share knowledge and you teach. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for at least sparing some Sunday with us on this special event. And at this point, if there's no question, then I'd like to thank you and have a good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever you join us from. Okay, so thank you very much and have a good evening. So thank you very much, Christian. Thank you, everybody. And Monica, Yoni,
Thank you
Atta.
too.
Yeah,
Yep.
Grace. I'm sure we'll get in touch. Wendell, Ben, thank you very much for joining. Abbas, Ifua, Chesco, Jifa, Joseph, thank you very much. Helen, Doctor, thank you very much. We'll keep in touch. Grace, yeah, thank you. Sama,
Okay.
thank you very much. And have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye. Yeah, Joseph too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, bye. Thank you.